So yeah, sorry about this, guys. I just had to restart it. Must have accidentally ended the live. So yeah, oh well. Never mind. Hang on. Has it not ended or something? Wait a sec. What is going on? So, we've got one person here. What the hell? There's like 2 lives going on at the moment. What the hell? I need to somehow end that live or something. Hello, Ronnie. Hey, James, you look great. Oh, thank you. Right, so why is it that there's 2 live streams running right now? Like, what is going on with that? Maybe I should just tell them that I've started a new one. I don't know, but let's just hang on. Yeah, welcome in anyway, guys. I hope you're all well. Feel free to ask questions. Yeah, so just need to maybe go tell them to come and watch me on the other live. Yeah, for some reason it's still it's going on about explosive. I must have missed some comments there, unfortunately. Yeah, so unfortunately I missed a few comments, it looks like, so oh well. I started a new live. I was wondering, like, why is there nobody talking? But there didn't seem to be a lot of people, watching. So I thought, maybe it's just that. But whatever. Right. So yeah. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. See, like I was saying before, there was this person called Piers DeRoos who was just like, it's just been trying to, it's kind of like, it seems a bit of a fucking bully to me, like, just somebody that I really can't stand, and I'm like, you would go into, like, Gravity Core Fitness live mod there, you would time me out, pretty much, like, every time I go in there, he'll time me out. It's like, what's his problem with me? And yeah, I've got 10 people watching, 0 likes. Hit the like button, guys. It's like, what is your problem with me? Like, and then I saw him in another chat as well. Like, I saw him in Pulsing Irons live, saying that he was copying somebody else. I'm like, so fucking what, Like, I could get the screenshot up if you want, but I'm just saying that. Why is you so bothered about what other people are doing? If someone's trying to copy someone else, more power to them, whatever, But is it really going to hurt that other person? Probably not. Why are you bothered if someone's copying somebody else? Just, they say, like, that, what is it? Winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. This is the thing, right? You get these people who will just go around and try and, I don't know if that's what he's doing. I mean, I don't know what this person's like. I don't know who it is. Who the hell is Piers DeRoos? Is this somebody that, I don't know if he's like some anonymous kind of person, whatever, but it's like, it just seems like a very sus character, and I'm like, why is it that Gravity Core Fitness is modding that? Hello, Megs Tim, welcome back. Why mod someone like that up? That is just going around and just like bullying people, basically. Like, if that was kind of known to be happening, I wouldn't be putting up with that. I wouldn't have people in here bullying others. I'm like, just, it's just, it's like either mod me up or whatever. It's like I probably won't be going back to Gravity Core Fitness. They can go fuck themselves then, because if they'd rather have some fucking dickhead, modding up their chat, then and I'd rather not be there, because to me you're just as bad as they are if you're doing that. And I kind of get the vibe that they're probably just laughing at me, all of them anyway. Hello, Reluctant Gamer, I hope you're doing well. They're probably all just fucking laughing at me anyway, but whatever. The joke's on them, really, isn't it, Because I have made a lot of progress, and, from where I've come from, it's crazy, like, the amount of progress that I've made over the years. I'm just saying that, like, it feels like some of these channels, like Gravity Core Fitness, are just... It's like, they'll go on about, oh, he's so amazing, go check out Jamie. But then it's like, I would get someone like Piers DeRoos, who's just a bully and just someone who's just trying to troll or something. Like, and then he was on Pulsing Irons Live earlier, saying that he was copying the American guy. He was probably talking about D-Bird. I think the work you do is unbelievable. That's just my thinking, bro. Well, I don't know. Let them think what they think, but it's just, why so much hate? And it's like, and then there's this guy, Pulsing Iron. It's like, well, he's putting the work in. He's, and the guy's had an open heart surgery, so, and he has that thing that as well. So it's like, the fact that Pulsing, it's like, as Piers DeRoos even, heard him talk about his fucking open heart surgery. The guy's, obviously, with his health, it's like, the fact that he's doing what he's doing is amazing. Of course, like D-Bird, he had his own things as well, but it's like, everyone's got their own story to tell, and that's what makes it sell, because, like, we all have something that's happened. It's like, we all have our own, kind of like, you could say it's our own come-up story, where we've come from things in the past that have happened, like health problems or mental health or whatever, to then become great, and that they're defying all the odds that to become great. It's like when someone, is told that they're going to have like 6 months to live if they don't, like, change their ways, and then 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, they're still here and they're healthy. So it's all about defying odds, and then having that kind of like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just do what needs to be done, because I want to still be here and I want to be fit and healthy. So anyway. Yeah. Well, I was talking about anxiety and depression earlier, and unfortunately, I find a lot of the stuff out there is probably designed to keep you dependent. But I would say that it is very, like, individual, and I can't necessarily give you advice that is 100%. But what I'd say is, like, try to look for the trigger of it. What is the root cause? And try to, deal with that. Because oftentimes we might have something from our childhood or something like that we need to try and address. And then people can use whatever method to try and overcome that. And it's about finding what works for you. Some people do things like hypnotherapy. Some people do things like shadow work. There's a lot of different things. Dissociation. There's a lot of different things out there. But yeah, it's about addressing the root of the problem, really, is what I'd say, instead of trying to, like, in my opinion, unless it's really that bad, that putting pills down your mouth probably just going to numb you, but you still have the problems. It's like people will use things like alcohol and these other vices, and it's like, we all have some kind of vice, I believe, but it's just, some vices can be not as toxic and even healthy, if done right. Yeah, like THC. I was talking about this before of how weed and stuff like that can make things worse, and people trying to use it for trying to calm themselves down. It's great if you don't become too dependent, I guess, but if you're becoming so dependent on these things, then is that really good? You know, because if you're dependent on anything, I don't think that's good. It's not healthy to be dependent on anything. It's like, say, being dependent on a particular person. That's not good either. We have to. We can only depend on ourselves. That's the only thing we can depend on is our own abilities. So yeah, like that's all. Yeah, but that's the thing is that there's prices to pay for some of these things when you get carried away with it, with alcohol, with drugs and things like that. That you start you don't before you know it you're slipping into depressive thoughts and like. But for some people, they got into it to try and help with their mental health, to drown their sorrows and whatever, and to forget about things. But then they end up creating more problems, and then they never really resolve the root cause of their problem. And I hate that kind of stuff. It really sucks. And it's like I understand why people do it, but it's just. But there's this whole like culture around drinking, and I think that's a problem to normalize it and be like, oh well, you can't have a good time unless you've had a drink, which I think is a total lie. If you need to drink alcohol to have a good time, then maybe hello bird nest rat fest, not seen you for ages. How are you doing? Hope you're well. So alcohol to me is just a poison, and like I can see why it can be like condemned in certain religions because it's like because it literally it can take over your mind. So that's another thing that some people end up doing stuff that they wouldn't have otherwise done because it will take out that sort of like part of like the thought process of like, is this really the right thing to do? Where they just go and like end up killing somebody, or they go and do some really messed up things. Oh yeah, Benny vibes. Oh yeah, anything toxic and addicting affects the mind. Yeah, it does. Even sugar, like refined sugar. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about fruit sugar. I'm talking about things like white sugar, like 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 the table sugar and syrup and things like that. That a lot of that is very addictive, and it can be hard to regulate it and can take over your mind. Things like chocolate, like as in like really like unhealthy types of chocolate that just get really addictive. So um they say there's something in chocolate that makes it addictive, but the actual I don't know, is it something in the cocoa? But like the thing is that sugar itself is like a very addictive poison, I'd say. Because like if you're having all this refined sugar, especially if it's just loads of it without anything healthy, then you're gonna have all this sugar that's just rushing into your bloodstream, and that it can cause the thing called I think it causes a thing called AGEs, which is called advanced glycation end products. These are like cause like sticky proteins and stuff, and it can also cause sticky blood, like which can cause heart disease, I believe. But having too much rush of sugar like that can lead to insulin resistance, potentially leading to diabetes if you have too much. And yeah, there's all sorts of problems. Also, the fact that bad gut bacteria feeds on refined sugar, whereas good gut bacteria actually feeds on dietary fiber. So yeah, you want to be eating things like dietary fiber, resistant starch, and stuff like that if you want to feed your gut the right things. Because the problem is that a lot of people will have these like probiotics, but are they actually getting enough prebiotics? Because you know like eating sauerkraut once in a while. I don't think you're going to be getting enough prebiotics if your diet sucks. Yeah, I know it's still on, but there's nothing I can do about that right now. Because I thought it had gone off and then whatever. Yeah, I told it in the chat that I've started a new live, I think, but yeah, yeah, chocolate addiction. That's what kids always want chocolate. Yeah, but we should try to like look at more healthy versions of treats, like um, getting them on like more things like fruit and stuff like that, like bananas or whatever. Having that as a treat instead of having chocolate or sweets. That's what I'd say, but everybody's got their own opinion. You get these people who like saying, "Oh, they need to go carnivore," and it's like, nah, I don't believe in that. I think that's all some kind of like gimmick. But yeah, it's just but like I said, the prebiotics are important. Feeding your gut bacteria the right things. Otherwise, unless you're having like the probiotics all the time, then you're probably going to find that it's not really going to do much. Because in order to keep these bacteria alive, they need fiber to feed on. But apparently, when they feed on the fiber, it actually creates the thing called short chain fatty acids. It causes a butyrate, I think, is one of them. And these are like good for like neurotransmitters or something, and good for like it can help with like mental health, I've heard. But yeah, just look into it. I think it's butyrate or something. Short chain fatty acids in the in the stomach, which is from eating different types of fiber. And they say like having different types of fiber is good. It promotes promotes a diverse mix of gut bacteria. So having different things like resistant starch, having things like pectin, things like lignans. There's so many different ones. There's literally like probably hundreds of different, or maybe even thousands of different types of fiber. I don't know like exactly how many there is, but I know that there's a lot. And I think it's just different types of bacteria feed on it, different benefits that you get from each. They say that the more diverse your gut microbiome is, the better it is for your health. Well, they do say diversity is our strength. So, but yeah, my health bacteria has been very poor because of cannabis. In my life, been eating wrong for a long time, but people like you motivate me. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that I can, be motivating, because sometimes I feel like I'm not really doing a lot to like kind of improve people's habits and things, but it's good when people say that. Because like I said last night, I was feeling a bit kind of like defeated. I was feeling a bit kind of like, what am I doing with this channel? Like, why is it feels like it's not really having much of an impact? And it's important that people, if there's anything that you get out of it, then let me know, because like it helps me by, just like acknowledging it. So yeah. Anyway, feel free to ask questions. So have you been getting into any workout routine then, or anything like that? But yeah, I've been trying to like, one thing I've been trying to do lately is not do things that I'm not like certain that I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna set out to do something unless I'm gonna do it. If I set out to do it, it's like I'm gonna do it. I have no excuses. I'm done with making excuses. If I say I'm gonna do 500 burpees, I'm just gonna do it. As hard and as long as it's gonna have to be, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. It's gonna get done. Like I need to not have excuses. Anyway, we've got Axel Witzel 4258. Okay, whatever. Like I'm not asking for your advice right now, but I'm just like not 500 burpees a day, no. Yeah. I'm gonna start the gym tomorrow, bro. I might just do home workouts, but if I got gym, it might push me. Yeah, so some people maybe they find the benefit of going to the gym because they're in that environment where it's like there's no distractions. Whereas home workouts, it might be hard for some people because it's tempting to just kind of give up and just go back on the computer or something. So, whereas when you're around other people that are all working out, there's that kind of accountability, you could say, and just like, I don't know. You don't really want to be around a bunch of people just to be like on your phone. It's like, you would feel a bit kind of ashamed to be doing that, I think. There is some people that do that, and I don't understand that. Just to go to the gym, lift the dumbbell and then go on their phone for like 5 minutes, lift another dumbbell. It's like, what are you doing? Just fooling around. So, yeah. Yeah, home workouts can be good if you've got the motivation and the discipline to do that. Like, you just got to do what works for you, though. But yeah, but for some people, they might struggle with home workouts. But I was thinking of trying to like do some kind of class for like home workouts to get people in shape because you can literally just get in shape by doing home workouts and just learning how to progress it or regress it depending on your skill level. So I'll be doing all that, like for example, with like squats, I'd see where people are at with that. Like, because I think almost everybody could do a bunch of squats, but like body weight squats. And if they're getting good at that, if they can do more than say like 30 of those, we're gonna move them on to like, say doing, kind of like squats with like a poles at the bottom or something like that. There's ways of progressing it on from that, maybe like plyometric squats and things like that. So there's ways to progress it beyond just your basic body weight squats. So we can look at different progressions and things. We've got like push-ups. If they're struggling with that, then get them on the knees and do it that way. We'd see each other's form and we'd be like, okay, you need to, sort it out because some people think they're doing it right. And then you say, okay, no, that's not right. When I click on your picture on top right on my page, it goes onto last stream. That's crashed. I have to go on your account. Then your live videos go onto this stream. All right. I don't know then, but yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future though. So it's just sometimes I feel it's just uncertainty I struggle with. Uncertainty with where are things going to go, where I'm like, where I just don't have clarity at times. And I think that's something I struggle with, where it's like, just knowing, but like, okay, things are going in this direction, and then this is where things can lead to. But without that, I can feel lost and feel kind of hopeless. But you have to focus on what's within your control and just keep, putting one foot in front of the other and try not to focus on the destination and just to live each day like it's your last. Yeah, clarity. It's a lot of people struggle with that where it's like, I don't know if it's like an autistic thing where they struggle more. I don't know, but I don't want to blame everything on that. But a lot of people just struggle in general with it, where it's like it's like when you don't know where you stand with somebody, like whether it's a friend or whether it's, you know, somebody that you're interested in. That can be difficult, you know. It can be, you know, say you're getting mixed signals, if you're getting like, it can be hard, you know, it can be hard to, because, you know, you might have like you might invest in somebody and like you just don't know. You don't. Hello, Oibrov. I don't know who Joshua is. I don't know. So anyway, but yeah, I think yeah, everyone's got something mentally wrong. I don't know. It feels like everybody's got some kind of illness of some kind. I don't know. I don't want to say it's an illness, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it's like where is it going? It's just I guess the problem is getting too invested too quickly into something, and then where it's like you feel like there's this importance of something working out, and then needing that clarity, or even just knowing whether it will or won't, because then it's like the thing is with me, it's like I struggle with like black. It's like I'm black and white oftentimes, where it's like I'm either 100% in something or I'm 0%. I'm not this kind of like gray area type person. I'm either 100% committed to something or I'm 0. It's like I'm either I mean that's just it. I'm either have very much passion or none at all. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but I think that's one of the reasons why I struggle with like the whole clarity thing, because I'm like I need to know whether to like be 100% or 0, instead of just being this kind of gray area where you're kind of in the middle, where it's like you're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. Because I don't like that. I don't like to be like that. So I want to know whether I should be all in or 0, and not in this gray area of like 50-50, and just that uncertainty there, and just that maybe I'll just kind of be, you know, so I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, it's just you know, I would give up with things sometimes. I would like have plans to do something and I would just give up because I don't see a clear plan or a clear future with it, like with going in a certain direction. And then I would just kind of be like, yeah, whatever. And sometimes there's just not the passion there to begin with, but I don't like that too. But like I said, my whole life I've never looked after mental health compared to some people. Being healthy since birth, I've been eating unhealthy when young. Yeah, but it's like you were saying, you know, it's never too late to start making changes, and you don't have to change so drastically overnight. It's all about making small changes over time that add up. So don't feel like you have to suddenly be eating, you know, like what is it, friggin' smoothie bowls and stuff like that. If that's not your thing, like right now, it's about, you know, sort of finding what's right for you. You know, finding the swaps, finding, you know, in a gradual way that feels comfortable, that it's seamless. It's like humans, with humans, it's like the body doesn't really adapt to harsh changes very well. Like, as in very sharp, kind of like, for example, very quick changes in temperature. Like when it goes from like being, let's say, if it was to go from the today at 26 degrees down to like, if tomorrow it was like 5 degrees, our body would be like freaking out because that sort of contrast there, you know, the body needs time to acclimatize. And it's not just with things like the weather, but it needs to acclimatize to um, to a new life or something like that. And a lot of people they don't like change. They don't like change because they're afraid of like that it disrupting their life, and the brain just gets confused, and it like there's this insecurity about you know change because like it feels kind of yeah, there's that kind of like security there. It's like when things are the same, and it's like, and I get like that, with like getting stuck in ruts and things like that because it's comfortable. But the thing is, in the long run, it's actually not comfortable because you end up suffering because it can lead to depression. It can lead to just being unsatisfied with life, and you know, it's just anyway. What's that? I think I need to go abroad and have a nice holiday. I think that helps mental health, not being stuck in this shithole all the time. Yeah, but then it's like you'll be coming back and then be like, oh, it's back to this place. So to me, that's just another form of escapism. To me, holidays are just another. I think holidays can be good if you just want to go just to travel and whatever. But I think it's another way that people cope with life. That, oh, well, I can just go for a week and just forget about how shit life is instead of trying to actually address their problems. So that's how I see it now. And I'm like, to be honest, I'm not even really in a rush to go abroad and stuff, but I'm not benching 225. Like, I can squat 100 kg, but, you know, um, no, I don't bench 550. Fuck me, like that would be crazy. But I think holidays good for travel, but people use holiday for drinking and partying. Yeah, again, all this stuff of drinking and partying, it's just another way of people trying to drown their sorrows, try to forget about life. I just think it's just another cope that people use, and and these companies will get you sell all these holidays to you, your package holidays, and be like people spending thousands on a holiday, but it's like a lot of people don't even think about just traveling around this country. Even just there's a lot of good things to see just in this country. Like, I mean, it's like, yeah, sometimes the weather can be shit, I get that, but you get people going away in summer when oftentimes the weather here can be all right. Especially the last few years, we've had some good weather in the summertime. So I don't either need to go away in that time, but it's like I feel like a lot of people are just using holidaying as a distraction, really. So I just think it's I don't know. You could say it's something to look forward to. It's like, oh well, at least I'll be going away on holiday for like 1 week or something. Then to just dread going back to work after all that, I don't think that's healthy. It's like if you just like all year just looking forward to just having that 1 week. I don't know. I just off on to Janet catching up news. Oh yeah, it's good to hear that. Yeah. Yes, you don't need you don't need the app, do you? You can use the watch. What is it? Not the watch page. I mean the what's it called? The desktop version, but it depends what device she's on. But if she's got a computer, she can just use the desktop version. But it is easier on the app, I think. But like I said, this whole thing of holiday, and I think can be good if say like there's certain things you want to do, like different cultures and things like that. I think can be good if there's a specific attraction you want to go and see. Let's say you want to go to America and see the Grand Canyon or something like that. Then there's a reason to go there if it's something on your bucket list or something, But holidaying just for the sake of it, I don't know. Because if your life sucks that much that you feel the need to go on holiday, then it's like maybe you need to sort your life out then. If you hate your job so much and you're just miserable, you know? Like, I think that's just something that people need to look at. They need to look at their life what is going on in their life. Like, are they happy with where they're at in life? Because if you're happy with where you're at in life, then then it's like you might not even feel the need to do all this stuff. It's like when people buy in all these material things to try and give them a sense of worth, when really it doesn't. It's just a fleeting sense of, oh, I've got this new car, but then after a bit, then that wears off, and then you want a new one. No, I don't drink alcohol now. To me, alcohol is just a poison, and it's just, I think it's something that is just, it should not be glorified in society and just meant to be like, seem like it's some kind of thing you would just do normally. Like, I don't know, but apparently there's less people doing it now, or less often. Like when they look at like surveys on it, apparently there's a lot less of these younger people doing it now than there were. They could say, well, there's bad to that, where like less people are going out and like clubbing and things like that. But to me, the whole club thing is just a fucking degenerate fucking environment anyway. So it's just a bunch of like, vaping's become the new thing. It's like smoking's gone, so then they're doing the vaping. You'll probably have them doing some other like hard drugs and stuff as well. Like, apparently there's a lot of people doing like coke now and shit like that. It's just, so I guess if like one thing's died out, does that mean that maybe something else has took over or something? A lot of people have been doing weed, and then that can have its own problems. It's like, it can be good for certain people. Let's say they've got certain ailments and things, but I don't think it should be some recreational thing that people do regularly. I pick up customers in my Uber, and they look like they are desperate to take a hit of their vape. It's crazy. That's why I totally quit smoking. Yeah, and it's like we don't know what these things are going to do long term. Like, we don't know if, say, because I've heard stuff about popcorn longer. Like, you might feel all right in the present, think, oh, well, actually, my lungs feel better on this stuff. But then you don't know what's going on inside you 10, 20 years down the line. You just don't know. What are these chemicals doing to you? It's literally like liquid that you're putting in your body, like in your lungs. So it might not have as much of an immediate effect on your body, but the long run might be different. I quit nicotine and weed for 4 days. I will never go back. Yeah. A lot of people end up on the nicotine patches, don't they? Well, apparently, actually, nicotine itself, I've heard there's a thing called nicotinamide, which is apparently, they say it's supposed to be some like longevity thing or something. I don't know. It's just, there's a thing called NMN, which is nicotinamide mononucleotide, which is apparently a supplement that people take it supposedly helps to boost their NAD levels, but then there's some conflicting stuff on it. And NAD is meant to be like one of these like things that kind of like slows down aging or something. Nicotine is a highly addictive drug. You can't go a day without a pill. Oh yeah, but oftentimes they'll take something that's natural and then completely like bastardize it, and turn it into something completely like messed up and corrupted. Like, for example, they take, refined sugar out of something that would have been healthy. Like, I mean, if you actually ate like unrefined cane or whatever, then that's probably going to be a lot healthier than having it in the more refined form. I mean, there's things like blackstrap molasses, which has a lot of health benefits to it. But that's from, I believe it's from the sugarcane, but it's actually a much less refined product, and which is a lot less refined than molasses. I mean, molasses is the thing that, yeah, that's like treacly kind of stuff, but they refine all these things into something completely bastardized, like taking fruit and then turning it into like a concentrated juice. So not even like fresh orange juice or something like that. They'll take it and then concentrate it, and they add a bunch of chemical flavorings and things like that to then try and kind of make it taste like orange, and there's only like maybe 5% orange in there, just so that they can make more money, and just they can say that it's got orange in it, but really it's just a lot of it's just a bunch of flavorings, and it's just because it's easy to make money like that, because it's like I remember there was this what natural juice only, yeah. I don't know if you remember there was this thing called Robinson's Squash. I remember buying one and it was like a water enhancer, they call it. It's like you just squirt a little bit into like a glass and it makes it tastes of like juice, basically. Imagine actually having that straight from the tube. In fact, there was people doing the challenge where they would actually do that. I remember like trying to drink like concentrated juice out of the bottle, just out of curiosity as to like how it would taste, and it was like pretty extreme, but like it's like say like Ribena or something like that, and I'd be like, yeah, because you're supposed to like add water to dilute it, and yeah, but it's like this like Robinson squash that says it can like make a crazy amount of it just out of that little container of it. That's how extreme it is, apparently. I would never pretty much like dare to try it. Yeah, but it's very like unnatural, that kind of stuff, and it's just yeah, people have all this ultra processed crap, and as what JFK, sorry, yeah, RFK Jr., the American population, most of their diet is ultra processed foods. Yeah, I remember like I used to have these energy drinks and I would just be completely crazy. Like I remember there was a drink called Emerge, and I used to drink them a lot, like these fizzy energy drinks. And yeah, I remember I was on some trip and I was like, I also had like most of like a big like Galaxy bar as well, and I was completely just like bouncing off the walls of just going crazy with like energy and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily good to be like that, and it's like I'm actually wondering if like these things do actually have an effect on people with say like ADHD and stuff like that. Now, I don't necessarily think that they cause it. I think that's been kind of like debunked, something, but I'm wondering if I don't think it's going to help, is it, to give someone with ADHD a bunch of sweets and energy drinks, because they're already going to be hyper to begin with. So I couldn't imagine it's going to help them. But I've also, oh yeah, naked drink, and about the smoothie drink. So, but I can't imagine it being good. But apparently, caffeine has the opposite effect in people with ADHD. I'd have to look into that, but apparently, it has the opposite effect. That can actually calm them down. Yeah, in fact, it comes up on the search. So it says, while some individuals with ADHD may experience a temporary increase in focus and alertness from caffeine, is not a recommended or effective treatment for ADHD symptoms. Caffeine's effects vary significantly between individuals, and it can even exacerbate certain symptoms in some people. Furthermore, there's a risk of interactions between caffeine and stimulant medications used to treat ADHD. So, yeah, well, naked drink. I don't know. I guess it depends on which ones you get, but yeah, just obviously stay away from it if they just add a bunch of sugar. But the thing with like smoothie drinks, it might not be the same as like like refined sugar, but yeah, a lot of them, if they have a bunch of like juices in there, they're not necessarily great. But yeah, if you're having just tons of like sugar rushing into your blood, then I'm probably gonna get off soon, but I don't know. It is what it is. Any more questions, guys? I don't know about that Nutri-Seed drink. I don't think I've had that, but yeah, a lot of it is fake, but it's like the thing is, it ends up usually costing a whole bunch of money to get like good quality stuff. Like, there's a lot of just really like overpriced nonsense. And I just think a lot of it's unnecessary. Because they know that those kind of people will pay for it. Because they're like... Anyway, welcome back, Amelia. How you doing? So, basically, yeah, so... It's like they make all this money off the health stuff, healthy alternatives or whatever, but in some cases a lot of it isn't even that healthy. It's like when they fling organic on the label or whatever, it's like, and that doesn't even mean much, does it? It's like organic food, but it's been sprayed with pesticides. It's like, well, how is it organic then? It's like, okay, or we mean it's grown organically. It's been grown. How is it grown organically if it's had pesticides on it? That's not organic then, is it? Yeah. Yeah, to me, it's just a way to, to make more money. Now, yeah, I understand that organic farms can be more expensive because I don't think they grow quite as fast, if I remember, because with like inorganic fertilizers, they're kind of like they're sort of they can get them to grow faster because it helps to like replace the nitrogen balance and all that, because that's what they try and do, is that they need to keep like replenishing the nitrogen in the soil. So they have these like nitrogen fertilizers or whatever they call them, and it's just like very unnatural, but it's just that, does it really make that much of a difference when you've got all these like pesticides, like you've got and even things like glyphosate or whatever. I've heard in some of it. Some people actually reckon that some of these things might cause allergies. I don't know if that's true, but I remember people talking about like gluten sensitivity and things like that, and whether things like like Roundup and things like that, and these pesticides, herbicides, things like that, are having some effect on that and actually possibly triggering some of that. Because I don't know, if I just kind of feel like a lot of these things are more modern issues, but it could just be that it's always been that way and it was just never really addressed as much. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you think that with all these like allergies that people are getting, it's crazy. It's like everyone seems to be allergic to something, whether it's pollen, whether it's a certain kind of fucked up, with all these. I don't know. Everyone seems to have some allergy to something or some intolerance to something. It's like, how fucked up is it? I don't know. I just feel like that's a bit. It's just sad that it's like I don't know. Is there somebody? Do you know actually anybody that hasn't got an allergy or intolerance to something? Hello, Lance Ripper. Oh yeah, I've heard about the whole mRNA thing. Yeah, or Mister NA, Mister Not Applicable. Is that because it's not applicable because when they have it and then they're like, yeah. Anyway, so I hope everyone's well. Got 8 people watching, so. But yeah, anyway, make sure you subscribe if you're new here. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, just I don't know. It's just odd how everyone seems to be getting allergies. Like I know, like my dad, it seemed to start getting hay fever. Like only the last sort of like couple of years or so. So I'm wondering what has caused that. Because yeah, I do sometimes reluctant. It's just stuff in there tends to be quite expensive. So one of the main side effects is immunodeficiency, which includes allergies and cancer. Well, allergies isn't immunodeficiency, it's what's it called? Because allergies aren't caused by a deficient immune system, it's a misguided immune system, if you get me. Because your immune system must have to be working pretty strong in order to have that kind of reaction. Hello, Papa Fisherman. How you doing? What happened with the name change? No Fs, no frills. What's going on with that then? Why did you change it? So, yeah, it's like there does seem to be something going on where it's like people seem to suddenly all be getting hay fever every year now. Oh, thank you, Reluctant Gamer. Nice one. It offended some people. Why is that then? It caused by the immune system's overworking, thinking everything is attacking the body. Yeah, it's almost like autoimmunity in a sense, but not autoimmunity, but like just a very kind of like, yeah, just kind of like a very like much of a, instead of trying to like check to see, okay, this is not a threat. It'll just automatically assume that it's a threat to the body and then just get rid of it. So it's like, where does that come from? Why is it that some people get hay fever and some don't? That's what I was like wondering. Like, why is it that some people seem to be able to get away with it? Some people get it really bad. I've had a few days this year where it's been bad, but most of the time it's not been that bad. Like, I got it bad like at the beginning of the season, and I was like, I don't know if you guys saw me, but I was like, yeah, it was rough. But I started getting these like hay fever wipes, and I tried to like that helped a bit, I think, but like it seemed to just kind of subside since then, and just kind of like I get a bit itchy and stuff every so often. But like, yeah, it's not really been that bad though. But it's just, yeah, your immune system's been misguided, basically. So I don't know. Thank you, Papa Fisherman. Is it because of like, when you've got like the swear words and stuff, it can be a bit obnoxious and whatever. It's like, I get that, but yeah. I'm going to try and not swear too much on here, but yeah, sometimes I can't help it. If I have a passion for something, then it's like I'll sometimes use that as an effect. It's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with swearing. I think if you do it in moderation and it's used to like emphasize something, but then if people do it all the time, then you might change it back. Oh yeah, well, you've got to do what's right for you really at the end of the day, haven't you? But I think like swearing, it's like something that, like I say, if you're doing it all the time, then it loses its effect, and then that just seems like it just kind of like desensitizes you to the actual word and like the actual effect of it. So when you actually say the word, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just like it's like something they like to in Australia. They tend to do that a lot, don't they? Like maybe America to some degree, but I've noticed like Australia, they always swear, don't they? It's like F word this, C word that, you know. It's like they always seem to be swearing at something, but then it just to me it just loses its effect when you do that. But anyway. So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all well. Any more questions? The runner boy, are you still there? So yeah, I might do a bit of a workout later, but I'll be honest, on my fly tie-in streams I do swear. Alright. Okay, then why is it people have a problem with the name then? Is it just that they feel like it's a bit kind of like unnecessary or something to have it in the title of it or something? I don't know. You can't please everybody though, can you? Because then people might say, "Oh, I prefer it before." So it's like the thing is, what you got to realize is that no matter what you do in this life, someone's going to complain about it. So at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you and just screw them, you know, whatever. It's like if it's not true to you, then you should do what's true to you, basically. I have no idea. YouTube didn't like it either. What do you mean? You're on about like were people like suppressing your life? Were they suppressing your lives or something? Because yeah, they might like demonetize it or something, things like that. Maybe less recommendations and things like that. Which, if you're trying to grow your channel, then you want to make sure that you try to keep things a bit clean. So I'm going to try to do that, and because it's like if I start swearing too much, then that's not going to help. I don't think, is it? It's like YouTube needs to know that I'm, you know, someone that could be like family friendly or whatever. I'm trying to be that and try to keep my emotions at like a level, because if I start getting all aggressive, then YouTube's going to sort of like, you know, think twice about recommending me to people as well. So I have to be careful of that and just try to just remember that, you know, it's my responsibility. Hello, Brian Lane. How have you been? Not seen you for ages. I hope you're well. So I did 500 burpees a few days ago. But yeah, hello, Jacob. What's up? Good to see you. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're well. Yeah, good to see everybody. It's so great to have all you beautiful, tremendous people here. You're all so fantastic. Yeah, that's good then. So have you not been going live much then, Brian, or something, or you still doing your burpees and all that? Because I know that's your kind of like speciality, isn't it? But yeah, I've just been doing things really like weightlifting, calisthenics, cardio, and things like that. So yeah, that's my kind of like thing at the moment. Just trying to be like doing a mix of things, really. So I don't want to just be too kind of like dialed in on one and then lose out on all the other areas. I want to make sure that everything's all kind of at a certain level. So I got like a PR on the squat earlier, so I'm quite happy about that. Yeah, thank you, Brian Lane. Yeah, just it's just, you know, positive, you know, when you're making progress in some way. I'm trying to like get leaner. You can see trying to get some of the abs, but it's just, yeah, I don't know, but we're getting there though. So that's what it is. You know, every day we're getting closer. There's this whole thing where it's like if you become like 1% better every day, imagine where you are in 1 year, 365% better. That's actually 4.65 times better, which you might think, well, that's 3.65, but it's actually 4.65 because you start off with 1. So today you're like 1 times better than where you are right now. But in 1 year, you're going to be 4.65 times better if you're 1% better every year. Sorry, for every day, I mean. So if you can either be your fitness, something else, whatever, then yeah, that's it, yeah, if everybody donates that even just £1, then it all adds up, doesn't it? We've got $3.99 so far, but yeah, it's good to have all you guys here, the supportive people, and yeah, it means a lot to have people like that here, and then we can all just kind of try to help each other. Sometimes I get a bit down, but then the best thing for me to do is, if I'm not feeling it, is to just kind of, cut it off, because I don't want to end up, being miserable on live. It's like, if I'm not feeling it, then why should I continue? And it's just not going to make me look good if I'm just being miserable and all that. But yeah, that's it. Sometimes you can get like a kind of, a chain reaction thing where it's like someone does a good deed and then it causes others to follow suit, like a kind of, like a bandwagon kind of thing, you could call it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Reluctant. Yeah, it's great to have, people like that here. But yeah, I remember you once sent like $9.99, but then it ended up with like £4 out of it because YouTube's greedy and they take such a big cut. But yeah, I don't like that they do that, because it's the creators that make their platform where it's like what do you mean, Brian Lynn? It's like without the creators, the YouTube doesn't have anything. So they should be paying them a fair share of it. I think they should be getting paid like at least like 80 to 90% of their revenue on the ads and on the live streams as well, because you could say, oh well, they're creating the infrastructure of it, or whatever you call it, like the technology and all that, but it's like, yeah, I get that, but they're just taking billions. But it's like, I just feel like it's unnecessary and it's just greed. But it's like they're all in competition with each other, and it's just this toxic competition instead of just it being about giving people like, yeah. YouTube should take 25%. I agree, because it's their platform. I mean, it's their platform, but it's like, but without the people making content, they don't have a platform. It's like, yeah, you could say like, well, they're having to do all this stuff, but it's like they've got literally like millions of people on it, and a lot of it's done kind of like automatic. Like with their technology, they have like certain. It's not like they have humans doing everything. They have technology that's doing it all. A lot of it's like, even things like the algorithms are all, like most of it is like, kind of done by robots, isn't it? And things like, even things like likes, views, it's like, it's all done by AI now. It's like, what exactly are they actually doing? It's like, yeah, they have to deal with like complaints and different things, reports, but they go through robots first. So it's like you get a lot of people probably working there that are like earning fucking $500,000, $1 million a year, whatever. And it's like, what exactly are they doing to really deserve that? It's just, I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just capitalism shit, isn't it? The late stage capitalism, It's like, I think capitalism has some benefits, you could argue, but it's just, I'm like, there's people who are like risking everything. Like they're risking coming on YouTube, trying to do a platform and they make money from it. And then there's a risk that could all be taken. YouTube could just deplatform you, take your money away.
ban you. It's just not fair, is it? Have you ever watched Ashton Hall? I've seen about him, but I don't really like pay attention to that. To me, just another grifter, just another fucking fake natty. I think he's a fucking just a fucking fake, fucking scummy, fucking charlatan, fucking piece of shit. You know, but there you go. I said it. Yeah, I don't like a lot of these people. You know, like fucking Ashton Hall and all these people out there. There's a lot of these like so-called alpha male influencers. It's just cringe as fuck to me. Like it's just, it is just absolutely pathetic to me. What about iShowSpeed? I don't know anything about iShowSpeed. Yeah, he's okay. I don't know. I don't know anything about iShowSpeed. It's just I've heard this Ashton Hall, Ashton Bumhole, or whatever. Like, um, um, yeah. Just I remember there was this place that I had a mate back when I was sort of probably about 10 years old, and he used to go to this place called Kingdom Hall, and he hated it. It was like Jehovah's Witnesses, right? I think they went like every couple of Sundays or whatever, and they would go like with family, and because his family was kind of a bit of religious or whatever, and they would call it instead of Kingdom Hall, they'd call it Kingdom Bumhole. It's like it just reminds me of that, and but it's just. But yeah, Ashton Hall. I mean, it's the whole morning routine thing. What's so special about waking up at 4 a.m.? It's like to me, it's just some cringy kind of like cliche bullshit. Like as long as you're getting enough sleep and you're sleeping at you're relatively the same time every night, and you can still be productive. What is really special about being up at 4 a.m.? Because to me, that could be kind of like depressing, just being like especially in like winter time. Imagine I remember like where I'd like wake up at like 4 a.m. It's dark and I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. I just like wake up and it's like still dark. Like what the hell? I don't like that. I mean, I'd rather not be waking up like before like kind of if it's dark, I'll just go back to sleep. Because I'm like, but yeah. But you get some of them going to bed at like 8 a.m. Sorry, 8 p.m. and waking up at like 4 a.m. I just think it's just kind of cringe. It's like I don't think there's any need for that really. It's just I don't think there's any need to wake up at a specific time. Like I said, as long as you're going to bed at the same time, and then you'll probably wake up naturally at the same time just doing that. So, whether you go to bed at 8 p.m. or 12 p.m. or even 2 a.m., if you're waking up at the same time, then because it's a thing called the circadian rhythm, it's the body's clock. It's not so much the timing in of itself, it's more, I think, the when it gets out of whack when you, let's say, go to bed at like 12 o'clock and then you go to bed at 2 a.m., then 8 p.m., whatever. It's like that's going to really confuse the body. So when you've got people say like, they work all week and then they go to bed at like 10 p.m. or whatever, and then at the weekend and they're going partying, let's say, then they're up to like 2, 3 in the morning or something. Then like, how is that good for you? That's not good, is it, to be doing that stuff? Because your body's like, it confuses it. So it cannot be good that. it's just so having like a consistent routine of going to bed at roughly about the same time. It doesn't have to be exact, but like in that ballpark, then I think that's the most important thing. But some might say, oh, well, they feel like they can be more motivated to get stuff done when they're up before everybody else. But I'm like, maybe if you find that you need to be like up at a certain time just to be motivated to do things, then maybe you're the problem, possibly. I'm just saying, like, maybe there's some issues that you need to deal with it. If you find that you need to be up at a certain specific time just to get stuff done, then I think that's kind of sad personally, but I don't know. What do you guys think, And then there's this whole thing about cold showers. I've heard, there's some benefits to that. But it's not something I do a lot, but maybe I should incorporate it a bit more. Or even just like put your head in cold water. Apparently even that gives you some of the benefits, but it's just there's just a lot of cringy kind of like cliche nonsense. I think it's just pathetic, a lot of it. But it's like I said, carnivore diet and whatever. It's just, if it works for you, great, but there's a lot of dogma in like the fitness and health scene, right? Where like a certain specific workout split or things like that, really, where it's like, oh, you have to do it this way, otherwise you won't make gains or you won't make them so quick or whatever. It's like, well, the way I see it is many ways to skin a cat. That's not a very nice word to use for it, but you know what I mean. It's like, what I'm saying is there's different ways of achieving the same result. Like, people tend to overcomplicate things and act as though they have their own specific structure that works so much better than everybody else. When really, when it comes down to it, is it really any more effective? It's like you get people like Mike Israetel, who's like acting like his methods are so much more effective than other people's. But it's like, is it really though? Or is he just one of these? There's going to be a lot of like egos involved with a lot of these like coaches and stuff. They all act as though their methods are the best. And when it comes down to it, there probably isn't much in it, because it's like there's a lot to criticize about these people, that like they act like they know everything, but then they've been criticized themselves, and I think they have had to be like humbled as well because they've had that much criticism. I think they'd end up, kind of toning things down a bit and being a bit more kind of nuanced and a bit more open-minded, but up to that point they're just trying to act as though sort of like it's my way or the highway kind of thing. Yeah. And I don't know if that was like with that Piers Deroos person who would come into my chat and be like, you need to use weights. I'm like, it's like, I'll do what I feel like is right for me for my own personal goals. I don't need to be told off somebody else what I should be doing. And I think the way I said it, and I was like, I don't think he likes it because, I don't know, maybe that's why he's been an asshole with me. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it is annoying when people are like that. They tell you do weight, but they never lift weight whole life. I don't know. I don't know what this. I mean, the Piers Deroos, I think he puts an image of some muscled up guy. I don't know if that's him or something, but it's like, even if that is you, why are you trying to criticize on other people's methods instead of just kind of like, I think people should just figure things out for themselves for the most part and not try to be brainwashed into a certain kind of thing like that, I mean, and everyone's got different goals and preferences and things like that. So yeah, I mean, there's always going to be someone who will just try and. It's like the other week we had someone called Strictly Cycling, or I called him Strictly Psycho, because the guy is just comes across quite narcissistic and quite, try to like, catch me out and be like, what's the difference, or what did all these different words mean, like stamina and endurance and all that, because it's like a nuanced thing, and it's like trying to be all like, oh well, you don't know what these mean, therefore you can't be talking about this stuff. And I'm like, well, but everyone's got their own goals, and it's like not everyone needs to know the difference between stamina and endurance, because it's like, well, can anybody in here even do that right now? And even if you can, it's like you'll probably be like, yeah, but it's just, what does it matter? Because the average person is like, if they just want to get fit, then I can just say, okay, well, if you want to work on your endurance, or if you want to work on your, strength, then do this and that, But it's like, not everybody's like kind of stamina is in the bed. Oh yeah. But it's, what I'm saying though is that the people who just try and kind of, yeah, it's like I said, Runner Boy. There was this Piers Deroos was in Pulsing Irons chat. I got a screenshot of it if you want to see it, but I can't show it now because it's on my phone. But basically, yeah, I have this screenshot of a comment that he put on Pulsing Irons Live saying that he's copying the American guy. And it's like, so what if he is? Why do you care? It's like, I've seen loads of people saying the same thing. Why are they doing that? Is it just a way to try and bring them down? It's like, well, you're not helping to bring that down. It's just, all you're doing is you're just showing you're either jealous or whatever. Because why are you so bothered about what other people are doing? It's obviously working for him. So more power to him. If it's working for him, great. It's great to see that his channel's getting big and whatever. Hello, is Cheese. How are you doing? Oh, it's reluctant. Hang on. You could put it up with the green screen setting. What's that? What green screen? I can't do that now because I'm not on. What do you mean? I have to. Oh, on the. Oh, yeah, because I can do the green screen on this. Hang on a sec. Well, yeah. How do I just bear with me? Green screen. Green screen. But yeah, that's true. But then I've got to be careful because I've got like stuff I wouldn't necessarily want to share on here. Yeah, I could do that, but I have to go through and find it. Just bear with me a second. I don't know if I've got it because I've got to be careful what I'm showing on here. Hang on a sec. I think that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'll just leave it on that, shall I? Look. You see? And you guys see it? Let me find it. I can't see his comment right now, but yeah, someone's called him a copycat there, and I can't see it with the comments. Does anyone see Piers Deroos there? Maybe I need to go on the other one. Hang on a sec. Let's try this one. Yeah. So there we go. Got you on screen right now, look. Look, copying the American bloke. You see? So I think, yeah, that was a good idea to get it on the green screen, but yeah. Anyway, that's that. So, Jamie's news, oh, nothing like that, but yeah, it's just, anyway. I don't think everybody would complain, but you know, I don't want to be doing that shit on here anyway. I mean, that might have been good for viewers, I guess, but then I'll have my channel taken down. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be, yeah. Welcome back, Reluctant. So yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, there you go. I proved it on the screen. So yeah. Well, it's in, like I say, it's in Pulsing Iron's live replay. It should be, and yeah. So why is he going in his live stream now to talk smack about Pulsing Iron when he's just trying to do these workouts after, you know, he's had a open heart surgery? And yeah, I try to Reluctant. It can be difficult because I'm like, it just can be difficult for the motivation and all that to just, you know, sometimes it just feels a bit tedious. But if it goes like, you know, like a good chat, then I can do it. But, and if we're getting like, you know, support, like a few quid or whatever, then that helps. Yeah. But it's hard when there's not a lot of supporters and people chatting that much. Sometimes I'll come on and then it just feels dead. Or if I'm not in the right mood for it, then that isn't good. So not every day I'm going to be feeling the best. So it's best to only do it when I'm actually feeling right, because otherwise it's just going to be putting people off. Yeah, well, the notifications only go out a certain amount of times. That's the only problem. I think it's like 3 times a day. And after that, let's say if I do 2 videos and then I go live and then I do another live, that's already up to 4 then. So, yeah. I got my notification on the channel. Okay, that's good. I'm probably going to wrap this up in a sec. 10 to 10, so yeah. Anyway, so any more questions before I go? Yeah. Nearly 10 p.m. I know. I'll be I might do a quick workout actually. Yeah. I need to do some like abs and stuff like that. Withdrawal symptoms. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, any addiction is like withdrawal symptoms of it, pretty much. Anyway, take care. I'll see you all soon. Bye.